team selection at this stage? I mean, if you've got players out of contract who you think might not be here next season, are you inclined maybe to select ahead of them players who you are looking at with a view to next season?
No, because I think that what people need to understand is when a player signs a 3-year contract at a football club, that's what he signs, and his commitment is only for those 3 years. So as long as he applies himself to the maximum for those 3 years, then I have no complaints at all about the player. If he chooses to move on, then that's football, and that's his decision. Where I have a problem is that when they are seeing out their time of their contract, if I start seeing that I think it's having an adverse effect on them, sometimes it's not physically, sometimes it's mentally, because it becomes an uncertain period for the player. And uncertainty is the worst part of football. You can deal with both positive and negatives, but uncertainty is the most difficult part to deal with. And I think for many players that are coming to the end of their contracts, that's the hardest part of it. And I see a lot of players affected by that when their contract's ticking down. And that is my one and only concern.
And we're going to be talking to Mark Marshall later. I mean, are you close?
You'll be talking a long time then.
Are you close to a decision on him, or is that still up in the air?
No, it's still very much up in the air. I think that in the last couple of weeks he's been a breath of fresh air. We're working very hard on certain aspects of his game, because I think that there's certain aspects really have to improve. But the one thing about him is he's a player that wants to improve. He's a player that is completely bought into the work ethic of the group and the intensity of the group. I think it's been a real cultural change for him, but he's a really good lad that wants to do well. And I think that in the last 2 weeks he's been certainly one of our better performers.